Curaçao might be one of the most visually striking cruise ports in the entire Caribbean, and we're not exaggerating. Bright Dutch architecture, a floating bridge, turquoise water, and some of the most accessible beach options we've seen anywhere. But is this a stay near the ship kind of port, or should you venture further out? Today we're walking you through exactly what to expect when your cruise docks in Willemstad, Curaçao, including the port area, Rif Fort, the famous floating bridge, driving across the massive Queen Juliana Bridge, and spending a lot of time at Mambo Beach. Let's get started.
Welcome to Dockside Travel. We are Melanie and Chris. We have been cruising for more than 20 years, and we create cruise port guides, ship tours, and share real cruise insights to help you explore with confidence. If you enjoy videos like this, please hit subscribe, and don't forget to like and comment because it really helps YouTube share our content with more cruisers.
As your ship pulls into Curaçao, well, you dock in Willemstad, the capital city and one of the most colorful cruise ports in the entire Caribbean. Curaçao welcomes approximately 900,000 cruise passengers per year with roughly 300 to 350 ship calls annually. That works out to about one cruise ship per day on average, sometimes more during peak season. So it's a busy port, but it doesn't feel overcrowded. That's because the port infrastructure is designed to handle large ships and the city is immediately accessible. When your ship pulls into Curaçao, the first thing that stands out is the color. Those waterfront buildings, the pinks, yellows, blues, it doesn't look like a typical Caribbean island. It feels European. And that's because Curaçao is part of the Kingdom of the Netherlands. You feel the Dutch influence immediately. Another thing we notice right away is how close everything is. You're not docking miles away in an industrial port. You're right there. You can see the city from the ship, and getting off, it's easy. Clear signage, organized taxi lines, no chaos. And that matters because some ports can feel overwhelming the moment you step off. Curaçao feels relaxed, controlled, comfortable. This is one of those ports where you don't feel rushed or pressured. The first major area you walk off into is Rif Fort. Originally built in the 1800s to defend the harbor, it's now been converted into a shopping and dining complex. And honestly, it's beautifully done. You've got stone walls, arches, open-air courtyards, but inside you'll find restaurants, souvenir shops, jewelry stores, cafes. This is a great low-effort option. If you don't want a big excursion day, you can easily spend time right here. Grab a drink, sit in the shade, browse the shops, take photos from the upper walls. And it feels clean and safe. That's something we always look for. There's also easy access to the Renaissance Mall area if you want to do more modern retail. So before you even cross into the city, you've already got options. Now let's talk about the icon of Curaçao, the Queen Emma Bridge, also known as the Swinging Old Lady. This is a floating pedestrian bridge that connects the Dockside to Punda, where those famous colorful buildings are. Walking across the bridge is part of the experience, and yes, it actually swings open while ships need to pass through the harbor. If it opens while you're waiting to cross, there's a free ferry that shuttles people back and forth. Crossing into Punda, this is where you can get those postcard shots. The waterfront is probably one of the most photographed spots in the Caribbean. And this area is extremely walkable. Boutiques, cafes, little side streets, murals, it's easy to spend a couple of hours just wandering. And it doesn't feel massive or overwhelming. It's compact, which makes it ideal for cruisers who will only have one day. Quick pause, if this guide is helping you plan your cruise, take a second and hit that like button. It really helps our channel grow, and drop us a comment. Let us know what you're planning to do while you're in Curaçao. If you want to head to the beach, you're going to end up driving across the Queen Juliana Bridge, and this thing is tall. You really don't appreciate how high it is until you're driving over it. But the views from up there, incredible. You can see the full harbor, the colorful buildings, and out toward the coastline. Driving through the city, well, it gave us a better sense of how Curaçao looks beyond the cruise bubble. Residential neighborhoods, local shops, schools, businesses. It felt developed, organized, and modern. And the drive to Mambo Beach, well, it's only about 20 minutes. So it's not a long excursion, it's quick and easy. Now let's talk about where we spend most of our time, Mambo Beach. If your goal in Curacao is a beach day, well, this is one of the easiest options. It's not a remote, untouched beach, it's developed, but that's actually a benefit for cruisers. You've got restaurants, beach clubs, bars, washrooms, chair rentals, and the water here is beautiful. Calm, clear, and it's that bright turquoise Caribbean color. It's very swimmable and there's no heavy surf due to the rock wall that encompasses the whole swimming area. There's breakwater sections that keep the water calmer, and that makes for good floating and relaxing, and a lot of fish can be found in this area. You can rent loungers, grab food without leaving the beach, and easily spend 4 or 5 hours here. And that's important on a cruise stop. You don't want complicated logistics. This is simple: taxi there, taxi back, relax in between. It's also great for people who want a mix of beach and atmosphere. It's lively, but not wild. You'll see families, couples, cruise guests, and locals. And visually, well, it's stunning. Bright blue water, palm trees, beach chairs lined up. It looks exactly like what people picture when they think Caribbean cruise. If you're not into hiking or rugged coastline exploration, this is a very safe bet. There's also a national park for rugged coastline and crashing waves. Christoffel National Park is good for hiking, but Curaçao is also known for its snorkeling and diving. The water clarity here is excellent. So if beach clubs aren't your thing, there are definitely other ways to explore, including by boat. Now for some practical tips. US dollars are widely accepted. English is spoken almost everywhere in tourist areas. Taxis are easy to find at the port, but you should confirm your pricing before you leave. It's hot, so bring water, and sunscreen, well, that's non-negotiable. And if you're walking in the city, comfortable shoes are a must. Let's talk about safety and security in Curaçao. At the time this video is being made, both the Government of Canada and the United States State Department rated Curaçao as exercise normal precautions. That's the lowest advisory level, which basically means use the same common sense you would anywhere else. In the cruise port area, downtown Willemstad, and at Mambo Beach, we felt completely comfortable. The port area is organized, well maintained, and heavily oriented towards tourism. Like any destination, you still want to keep an eye on your belongings, avoid flashing valuables, and stay aware of your surroundings. If you're heading further out to more remote beaches or parks, it's always smart to plan transportation ahead of time and confirm return times. But overall, this is considered a stable and very cruise-friendly destination. As always, we recommend checking the latest travel advisory from your home country before you travel. Conditions can change. But based on our experience, Curaçao felt relaxed, safe, and easy to navigate. Alright, time for our official Dockside port ratings for Curaçao. Remember, we rate every port the same way on a 1 to 5 scale. For walkability, we give it a 4 out of 5. This is one of the most walkable cruise ports in the Caribbean, and there's lots to see within just a few minutes of the dock area. From the ship, you can walk to Rif Fort, cross the floating bridge, explore Punda, and enjoy the waterfront, all without transportation. Everything feels compact and manageable. For family friendly, we give it a 4 out of 5. It is very family friendly. The port area is organized, the beaches like Mambo are swimmable and controlled, and the city is easy to navigate. For beaches, we give it a 4 out of 5. Mambo Beach is beautiful, accessible, and easy for cruise guests. If you're willing to travel further, you can find even more dramatic beaches like Groot Nip. It's not walk off the ship into the sand, but it's close and convenient. Value for money, we give it a 4 out of 5. Taxi rides are reasonable, beach access is straightforward. You don't feel forced into expensive excursions just to enjoy the day. Food and drinks are comparable to other Caribbean cruise destinations. For safety and comfort, we give it a 4 out of 5. It's rated as exercise normal precautions at the time this video is being made. The port area feels controlled and secure, and we felt completely comfortable walking around the city and at Mambo Beach. Curaçao delivers on walkability, beauty, beach access, and ease. It's one of the most complete cruise stops in the Southern Caribbean. This is one of those ports where you really can't go wrong. Beach day, you're covered. City exploration, easy. Relaxed pace without the chaos, definitely. If you've been to Curaçao, tell us, beach day or city wander? If this guide is helping you plan your cruise, take a second and hit that like button. And if you're new here, subscribe to Dockside Travel for weekly cruise port guides, ship tours, and cruise planning tips. Dropping a comment really helps our channel grow, so let us know when you visit Curaçao, are you choosing a beach day or exploring the city? Your comments actually help more than you think, and we read every single one. Join us in the next port, and thanks for watching.